Hi and welcome back to Blamethedicewargaming. My name's Tim and today I've got another battle report for you. We have the mighty Republic fighting off the wicked Empire. However, before we get into it, I want to make sure you are aware of the competition that the channel's currently running. That will run until the 1st of August 2020. So skip on if this isn't interesting to you and start watching the game. However, that is to win a brand new box of the new 9th edition Warhammer 40,000. And all you need to do is to go and find the video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. And if you want to up your chances, you can join our Patreon campaign as well, which gives you an additional 3 entries. However, I wanted you to be sure you knew about that. But let's get to it. Let's have a look at the game, and let's hope you enjoy it. So the battle deck has been picked and we are going to be playing HemmedIn as our deployment. Recover the supplies for our objective. So just for a quick reminder, this is 5 tokens are placed, 1 in the very middle of the table, and then the blue player and the red player each respectively place 2 each, going back and forth. So blue player, red player, blue player, red player, until all 5 condition tokens have been placed. And during the game, the objective will be to claim these, and by claiming them you will gain victory tokens for doing so. And to add to the madness, the condition is supply drop. So essentially we have another 6 set of crates that have been placed, and essentially these can contain a random assortment of various goodies that can help or hinder your progress. Mostly help, I suppose, is only hindering if you get something you don't particularly need. But essentially all non-creature troopers gain a free action, that's a double arrow there, of resupply, so they can open up these crates and start using the goodies inside. So placed in the middle of the table, right on top of the U-wing, is the green box that you can see. Its position is going to make it quite difficult to get to, because you can only get to it from 2 sides because of the slope of the canopy. The blue player placed their first box down there on the right of the U-wing behind the engine. Quite good placement, it's going to be very difficult to get to. And they mirrored their actions on the other side of the table too. Again, a similar approach. They're behind some barricades. They've got the advantage from where they're deploying from, and on the other side you've got walls that have got impassable terrain, so it should be a good place for them to hold that one. The red player placed very aggressively with their first box. Due to their deployment zones, they are kind of able to get further into the battlefield, and were forced further in by the restriction of it being range 1. Therefore they place on top of what's going to be heavy cover with a really good sniper nest. It doesn't look like they'll be struggling for visibility at most of the tabletop group here. And their next one was placed in a rather cowardly position, out of range of any of the enemy, giving them an ideal flanking position and with individual access to the bottom of the bridge. I say cowardly, you say tactically very strong. Either way, they're going to be the chief contenders for that one. I think there would be a real struggle for the Republic to get hold of it. So that's all 5 placed. Now we're going to move on to placing the supply. The Republic have a tactic and they're sticking to it. They've put their first supply next to the blue supply token that they've already placed. The next 2 you can see, there's the stack of silver crates below the computer console in the left of the screen, which is on top of the Tabana gas refinery or storage unit or whatever that's supposed to be, and the other is next to the blue objective token. That will give them a tasty view from across the battlefield and make it very difficult for anyone else to get to. And the same again as the first one they placed, placing it by a barricade with their other objective token, giving them a degree of control. And also, if luck's on their side, they might find something in there that they really want and will use. The Empire don't have such advantageous positions to utilise given the restrictions of range, so they have placed on their right flank their token, But from here they should be able to put some hurt on the Republic positions that are just on the other side of the orange crates. Following suit to what the Republic have done, they have placed their supply token immediately to the left of their red objective token. It makes it something of a gamble doing this. However, if there is a sniper up there, for example, and there's something in there that's particularly good, that could be really advantageous to them in terms of it could be stims or it could be a harness allowing them to move down there if they find themselves trapped or out of position. And again, they buddy up on the left of their supply token to put, their objective token to put their next supply token. Because of the position of the game table, that's going to give the Empire a real strong position on that objective token and the supply token. So on the far side of the table, you can see the Republic deployment zone, and you can see where a majority of the supply and objective tokens have also been placed. And on the other side of the table, you can see one part of the Imperial deployment zone and the other half of the Imperial deployment zone, really giving the impression of just how hemmed in the Republic are. So let's talk terrain for a second before we get to deployment. There's a lot of heavy cover on here, so we're going to be making things light cover that might typically be heavy cover to try to balance out the game. To start, the U-Wing is going to be heavy cover, as is the power station and the bunker. Both the barter gas storage cylinders will also be heavy cover, but everything else will be light, so the boxes of barricades will play those as light cover. The walkways over the bridge will also be light cover. The routes around the tree will also be light cover. However, anything that does block line of sight will of course not be able to be shot out and killed. And to make the game more interesting, we have a raging river running through the very heart of the map. This will be difficult terrain for any part that is water. The stones along the edge will be viewed as an extension of the bank, but once you leave those, once you move off those, you'll be deemed to be entering difficult terrain. And with that, I think we're ready to deploy. And this is our Republic army. We have one squad of Phase 1 clones in the red armour, accompanied by the rocket launcher, so that's a red, black and white at range 2 to 4. Another squad of Phase 1s with the Z6. We've got another two squads of Phase 1 clone troopers, the green squad on the left and the blue on the right. Both are running the DP-23 Phase 1 trooper. Only this guy is the actual model. I don't have enough of them, however he's also got a backpack on and is easily distinguishable to represent the same model. And we have two squads of Phase 2 clone troopers, both running the Phase 2 mortar trooper. We've got a bark speeder with long range comlink and the rocket launcher co-pilot, and lastly Obi-Wan Kenobi running aggressive tactics, tenacity, force push and saber throw. So this is our Imperial force. We have one and two squads of Stormies running the DLT, and we have two squads of Stormtroopers running the T-27-1 Stormtrooper, which this isn't the correct model, that is, but like I said before, with the Republic, I've only got one set of them, so I wasn't going to buy that many just for the one model, and that's what they'll be using. And we have one and two sets of Snow Troopers running the frag grenades and the flamer. We have one squad of snipers in the strike team running the sniper rifle and recon intel. And we have Iden Versio and her Seeker droid. For Iden's loadout, she's got the weapon options of the TL-50 repeater and the DLT-20A, and in her trading slots she's got offensive, push and overwatch. And lastly, Darth Vader Optive, running with force reflexes, saber throw and endurance. So this is the shape of things after deployment. On the right side of the table, on the Empire side, we've got Darth Vader. He's supported by two squads, one squad of snowtroopers with a flamer and frags, and then one squad of Stormies with the DLT. And on the left, we've got the second squad of flamers down there. Above them we've got a squad of stormtroopers. These ones are supported with the T-21 trooper, and on top we've got the snipers on top of the rigging there. And to the left of them we've got our next squad of stormtroopers with the DLT, and our last squad of stormtroopers with the T-21 trooper. Iden, however, decided to infiltrate, so she has lost her command rank to become an operative and has appointed Vader as a commander, and she's over there deployed range 3 from the phase 2 clone troopers on top of the building. And she deployed with offensive push and the TL-50 repeater. It was a bit of a mess on this side of the table. We've got General Kenobi deploying far forwards right underneath the shadows of the U-wing, and either side of him there's two squads of the phase 1s who are running the DP-23 rifle, and then on the left there's the rocket launcher, and on the right the Z6. On top of the fuel depot we've got one squad of phase 2s with the motor launcher, who recon intel'd one forward to get slightly further up the board. And on the right side of the table the same thing happening again, recon intel 1 pushing forwards, and that's another phase 2 squad with a motor launcher. And lastly the bark speeder deployed on the right of the wing, not knowing it at the time because Iden wasn't down, but in a great position to challenge Iden, but also, depending on the state of play, to challenge some isolated and separated stormtrooper squads. Okay, it's turn 1. It's time to reveal the cards. On the left side we've got the Empire, and on the right we've got the Republic. The Empire go with a 1-pip pulse scanner, which is an order for Iden Versio, and the Republic go for a 2-pip, which is an order for 2 troopers, knowledge and defense. Let's have a close look at them. Knowledge and defense issues 2 orders to 2 troopers. Obi-Wan Kenobi gains 1 dodge token for each friendly trooper unit at range 1. Obi-Wan Kenobi can use Guardian, Enduring and melee attack. So Obi-Wan's in a good position, so he should be getting a lot of dodge tokens considering he is surrounded by clone troops. And the pulse scanner is an order for Iden Versio. She gains sharpshooter 2 and 1 aim token, and then at the end of her activation she gains 1 dodge token and 1 standby token. The first Republic order goes to the phase 1s to the left of Kenobi. The second goes to the phase 1s on the right of Kenobi, both of which take a surge token for aggressive tactics. In addition to this, both phase 1 clones also get a surge token for reliable 1. And on the very far side of the table, Iden takes her operative token. Iden takes a name token for being issued her order on account of using the pulse scanner. She's got sharpshooter 2, but she is out of range 3 of the phase 2 clones. So she's going to have to move slightly to get into a better position. So Iden will move. She'll move herself forwards, bringing herself still behind cover, but being able to shoot at the phase 2 troopers. Iden's attacking the phase 2 troopers, and she'll spend the aim token to re-roll the 2 for an extra 1. The phase 2 clones aren't getting any cover because of Iden's sharpshooter 2, and by spending their surge token they can cancel all of those hits, leaving them with no fatalities. So Iden finishes her turn there without making much of a splash. But the phase 2s do take a suppression token. I forgot to mention before that Kenobi took 4 dodge tokens. That's on account of the 4 different squads that are surrounding him, and the 2-pip card, knowledge and defense. The rebels pull from the stack, pulling their support unit, which will be the bark speeder. The Bark Speeder has Speeder 1, so for its first action it must move forward. However, as it's got the side cart on it, it will only do a Speed 2 rather than a Speed 3 manoeuvre. The Bark Speeder is now in range 2 of Iden. However, she had a standby token from her order card, so she will do a speed manoeuvre to put herself behind this tree and out of line of sight of the Bark Speeder. The Bark Speeder therefore will make a second move, again doing a 2-speed action, and will finish in line of sight of the Stormtroopers on the bridge, who, because of heavy cover from the tree, will be getting, because the line of sight being blocked by the tree root, they will be getting heavy cover. We're shooting now with the Bark Speeder. It has Arsenal 2, so we're shooting 2 weapons. So we're going to use the rocket launcher, which is a red, black and a white at range 2 to 4, and its standard front twin light blaster, which is a red, a black and a white. The Stormtroopers roll on defense and defend neither. They therefore take a suppression token and will lose 2 of their minis. First blood to the Republic, and the Bark Speeder ends its turn there, and will pass back over to the Empire. The Empire pull from the stack and reveal a trooper. This is given to the squad supporting Darth Vader, and to start off they will move to try to get some cover behind the U-wing. They finish their turn in some heavy cover and will take a shot at some of the clone troopers on the other side of the table. It's a DLT and 4 standard dice. It's a DLT and 4 standard white dice. It's a crit and 2 hits, however they're in heavy cover, so we will take the 2 off and they'll just roll the 1 red defense dice, which they make, which will cancel out the only hit, meaning just suppression on the clones. And we're back to the Republic, who draw from the stack, revealing a trooper unit. The order will go to the Phase 2 clones, who from their vantage point up here have a range 4 shot at the Snowtroopers across the table. They also have range 3 of the Stormtroopers who are in between the U-wing wings. We're going to start off with a mortar launch against the Snowtroopers first of all. It's 2 black dice and they have a surge token if they need it. They're still in the open, so no cover bonus, so we'll be rolling 1 red defense dice, which the Snowtroopers do not defend against, so they will lose 1 model and they will take 2 suppression tokens. So they have Darth Vader nearby to rely upon, so they are unlikely to run off the board. However, they do have 2 suppression tokens, which will be hard for them to shake, and they are very close to the board edge should Darth Vader get too far away or be killed. And they'll take their next shot with 4 black dice against the Stormtroopers rather, in heavy cover. They still have their surge token before, so it's 4 black dice. Surge token remains unspent. It's a hit and a crit and 2 hits. They're in heavy cover, so we'll cancel their hits and have 1 rolled off for the crit, which they do not defend against. So it's a surge token and a dead Stormtrooper for the squad by the U-wing. And that is a Phase 2 clone troopers done for this turn. We're back to the Empire, who will draw from the stack, and this time they will reveal a trooper unit. This order will be given to the other squad of Snowtroopers who have yet to be shot at. This order will go to the Stormies who were shot at before, and their first thing will be to attempt to rally, which they do. I picked up the wrong dice, let's try that again. Which they do, I'll give them that even though it's a bit cocked. So for their first action, now that they've got 2, they will finish crossing the bridge and finish behind the tree. and now take a shot at the Phase 2 clone troopers on top of the bunker. This squad has a T-21 stormtrooper, so it's going to be 6 white dice all in total. Let's see how they do. The T-21 stormtrooper has critical 2, so those 2 surges are now crits, which is brilliant because they can't be cancelled by heavy cover, so we'll just cancel the 1 remaining hit. Meaning the clones are defending against 2 reds, and they defend them both, and it's another suppression token. There's the second suppression token. The clones do have a courage value of 2, so it's not the end of the world for them just yet. The Republic pull from the stack and reveal a trooper unit. We'll give this one to the Phase 2 clones. Let's see if they can rally off first of all. They lose 1, so they will get 2 actions. And they're also going to split their fire. They're going to use the mortar launcher to get a nice range 4 shot off at the stormtroopers on the other side of the Tabana gas refinery. And they're going to use their main weapon to shoot at the snipers across the way, which is in range 3. They too have a token from earlier on. They do not have any surge tokens, as they spent that defending against Iden's attack in the opening turns of the game. So the mortar is going to be 2 black dice, unmodified. They're in heavy cover, so we will cancel it down, but it is still a hit. So ultimately, that squad will take 2 suppression tokens. And the table edge is very, very nearby for these guys, so they'll have to rally off, because I do believe they are out of range 3 of Vader. For the next attack, they're going to shoot at range 3 at the snipers, who are just inside range 3. So that'll be 4 black, nothing to modify, and they're in heavy cover. They don't surge up, so that will be cancelled, and those 2 will be cancelled for cover, but it is a suppression token. So the Phase 2s end their turn there. So we're back to the stack, and we reveal a trooper unit. This time, we'll give it to this set of troopers here. They will, for the first action, move up onto the platform beside the scouts, if I can pronounce that word correctly. And we'll just hear the other units around it. And now that they're up here, they will return fire on the Phase 2 clones across the table. This squad also has the T-21 gun, so it's going to be 8 white dice all in. White dice do what white dice do, and we're only left with 1, which will convert to a crit, so at least they'll be defending against 1 of them, as crits go through cover. And they finally will take a damage, as well as another suppression token. So the clones take the suppression token, and will take off a mini from the back. And the Stormies will end their turn there. We are now back to the stack again for the Republic. We reveal another trooper. I think we'll give this to the yellow squad at the front. The yellow squad are something in the open where they currently sit. So they're going to move forwards to get themselves into some cover. So they'll move to the other side of this squad to enjoy heavy cover from the U-Wing and the ability to shoot at the squad over there. They're now tucked away, so they're going to shoot 4 black dice and 6 white dice at the Stormtrooper squad behind the tree. So at the end of that, we were 2 crits and 3 hits. We'll cancel 2 down for heavy cover, and the Stormies will be rolling 3 red defense dice. Taking 2 and only blocking 1. Which is very bad news for this squad, because that takes away the trooper and their T-21, leaving only their unit leader. And that finishes the yellow squad's turn. We're back to the Empire to draw from the stack, and we reveal a trooper unit. We're going to give it to this squad that's in cover, but in a bit of danger with having 2 suppression tokens, so the first thing we'll need to do is to rally. They managed to rally you 1 away, which is great news for them, because the board edge is about here, so they would not have been long for this world. And for their only action, they're going to move to get themselves across the bridge, or at least go towards the bridge. And they'll finish their turn there. The Republic draw from the stack, revealing Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be very brazen, very bold, but wouldn't you be if you had 4 dodge tokens? He's going to use his jump 1 ability and his speed 2 maneuver to move clean across the U-wing and make base contact with the very central objective and claim it. He is, however, just inside of range 1 of the Stormtrooper squad, so he's going to do a force push and push those guys backwards, taking them a little bit further from the fight and further from the U-wing, where they appeared to be making a beeline for the ladders to claim the box themselves. And Kenobi finishes his turn there, claiming the objective. We've put a victory point token on top of it, not because he actually has a victory token yet, but just to represent the fact that's been claimed, and it's been claimed by the Republic. Back to the stack for the Empire, and it's the snipers. The snipers are suppressed but have a courage value of 2. They will try to roll at first because they are in heavy cover already, so they don't get any benefit from that. Which they don't, however they still have 2 actions, so they will aim and fire at the phase 2s across the way. It's a rare moment. We have both guns in range 3, so that's 2 black for the sniper rifle and 2 black for their main weapon. They only convert defensively, so we'll spend these 2, so we'll spend the aim token to reroll those 2 for another crit, so that is 2 crits to defend against, because this will be cancelled for light cover. Clones roll in red dice again, and they take 2 casualties. And that's another suppression, bringing them up to the 3, and they're down to their unit leader and the mortar launcher. And the scouts finish their turn there, after reducing the threat quite a bit. The Republic pulled the next token, their last token that hasn't been pre-picked. It's their last trooper, which will be the red squad at the back, who have the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher is a range 1 to 4 weapon, so they're going to use that. And that will get used against the snowtroopers. That's a red, black and a white for the rocket launcher. The snowtroopers are in light cover because of their suppression, so we will cancel all of those, but it is another suppression token. So they are also now on 3 suppression tokens. And for the next action, they will move and clear the little pipe there, which we didn't decide was difficult terrain because we thought there was enough, and that's where they'll finish their turn. And this is where they finish their turn ultimately. Back to the Empire. Reveal another trooper unit, which is going to have to be one of the 2 snowtrooper squads. The order token will go to this squad of snowtroopers, and for their first action they will start to move towards the battle. They move once, and again. They're not in range 1 of Kenobi, so there's really no point trying to shoot at him because he's got all those dodge tokens anyway, and they've only got white dice. So they finish their turn there. Now to the Republic, who only have 2 order tokens left, and they're both face up, so they've got a small decision to make. We're going with the blue squad, who will move out and get behind the barricades and cohere there, and hopefully be in range 1 to 2 of the snowtroopers now there in the open. Which they are, so we'll take a range 2 shot with 4 black dice and an additional 2 and a white for the DP-23. They also have a surge token from before, so they'll be able to use that. So they'll spend their surge token to make that 3 hits and 2 crits. Now they aren't in cover, they aren't suppressed, so they will roll all 5 red dice to defend against that. Their red defense dice completely blank out, and that is going to take the entire squad of snowtroopers off the table. Which is going to be a crushing blow for the Empire, because these are something like that shock troopers getting up close, challenging objectives and causing a lot of hurt. So we're back to the Empire to pull from the bag, and they get their commander, which is currently Darth Vader. Now Darth Vader is normally only speed 1, however he does have spur, so he can gain himself a suppression token to make one of his moves a speed 2 move, which is what he's going to do now. So he'll do a speed 2 move going forwards. He will, for his second action, perform a 1 speed maneuver. And then he's going to use Force Throw on the red squad of phase 2s right in front of him. So it's 2 blacks and they're phase 1s, not phase 2s. That's a hit and a surge. He doesn't convert, they're in light cover, so that'll cancel down. However, it is a hit, so he will get to scatter. Scatter's a brilliant keyword. It means now he gets to perform a speed 1 maneuver where all the units, or say minis rather, cohere around their unit leader. So the unit leader stays where he is, but all these other guys are now dragged out of cover. And Vader will now spend his force reflexes to gain a dodge token. He'll finish his activation there, and because of endurance he will lose his suppression token. Actually, rereading the text on the endurance card, it's "you may," and whilst he is only in light cover there, we are choosing to leave it on. We're now back to the Republic, and we've got the green squad of phase 1s who are now in range 1 to 2 of Vader, so they are going to aim and shoot at him with everything they've got. So they are going to shoot with their DP-23, they've got a surge token and the aim token. Let's see what they can do with that against Vader. They'll use their surge to convert the surge to a hit for the white dice, and they'll spend their aim token to have a go with this one. And they get another surge, so that's nothing in that case. So we're going to cancel 2 down for light cover. So Vader is going to defend against 2 crits and 2 hits with red dice. Vader will cancel one of the hits with his dodge token, meaning he now has surge to convert, meaning anything he gets a surge on, he will defend and will send a shot back at the squad. And he blanks out, so Vader is going to take 3 damage. I think it's time for a new set of red dice. The red dice have not been working for anybody today. So there he is with another suppression and 3 health, out of a possible 6 health, so he's down 50%. We're down to our last token for the Empire. It has caused a trooper, which has to be these guys over here. We'll first of all try to roll off to see if we can get rid of their suppression and see what can happen next. 3 suppression, 3 white dice. They roll off 2, so they're not going to run off the board, luckily for them, but they still are going to be down to 1 action. So rather than the double move, they will do a single move and try to get themselves close into the battlefield, but remaining behind some cover thanks to the U-wing, and then they will shoot with their standard attack dice at the squad that is now slightly more in the open thanks to Vader. So that's 4 white dice, which is 1 crit, so at least the squad will be defending against something. There's no one in range for any token sharing, so they're going to have to roll this without anything to help them out. They do defend it, so it's only a surge token. I say a suppression token rather. And the stormtroopers, snowtroopers rather, end their turn there, and that ends round 1. A really unexpectedly costly first turn for the Empire. They lost a full squad of snowtroopers, then a single model from the snowtroopers, and then what looks like another full squad of stormies. Now it's not, it's just dribs and drabs from all over the place. However, that has put them at a significant numerical advantage when they went in very strong. The Empire, on the other hand, focused down on the clones and were really able to do some good stuff by hurting them and bring a phase 2 clone squad down to bare bones, but that was all. Start of turn 2, we have got the Empire on the left and the Republic on the right. Let's see what they're playing. The Empire have gone with a 3-pip Master of Evil, and the Republic have gone with a 1-pip Hello There. Master of Evil orders Darth Vader and 2 units, and when Darth Vader is issued an order, he gains 1 dodge token. When Darth Vader activates, each enemy trooper unit at range 1 to 2 of them gained 3 suppression token. Now Darth Vader is surrounded by troopers, and I'm sure a lot of them are in range 1 to 2, so that could be significantly damaging for the Republic. Hello there is just for Obi-Wan Kenobi on the other hand, and when Obi-Wan Kenobi gains Nimble, which means you get to keep and reuse your dodge tokens. At the start of activation, Obi-Wan Kenobi gains 1 aim, 1 dodge token and 1 standby, or 1 surge token for every enemy at range 1 to 2. Kenobi is equally surrounded, and he's going to have the choice of what he's going to take. Certainly turn 2 is going to be very compelling and interesting stuff. The order token goes to Kenobi, of course. And he has Darth Vader, the Snowtroopers, the Stormtroopers, the Scout Troopers, and the other Stormtroopers. So that's 5 units and 5 tokens he gets to pick from. So Kenobi will take 2 aims and 3 dodge tokens. And the Empire order goes to Darth Vader, of course, the Snowtroopers, and the Snipers. The Republic are going to start off with Kenobi, who will move across the Ewan. He finishes his first movement there. He's going to then force push Darth Vader back. So Darth Vader is pushed further away from the troopers, which is going to make Master of Evil a bit harder for him to use. And then for his next movement, he's going to jump and move into melee combat with the Snowtroopers. And now using the keyword charge, he's going to hack at the Snowtroopers. It's 2 black, 2 white and 2 red, critical 2, impact 2 and pierce 2. So we'll re-roll these 2 with one of his aim tokens. We'll spend his second aim token, and he only has 2, to give us a crit, 3 hits, and that will surge up to a crit as well. 5 red defense dice. They defend 4, which is an excellent roll. However, it has pierce 2, so 2 of them will be cancelled. So that means 3 are gonna die, which is unfortunate for the Stormies, because that means that they're only left with their unit leader and have lost their heavy weapon. And Kenobi ends his turn there. The Empire are going to go, and they'll go with Darth Vader. However, now he's been pushed out of the way, he will only be able to give suppression tokens to the red phase 1s and to Kenobi himself. Kenobi has a courage value of 3, so he will hardly be affected by that. The phase 1s, however, only have a courage value of 1. Vader will start his turn by spurring, so he will take himself a suppression token to enable himself to do a speed 2 maneuver. Vader will do a speed 1 maneuver to move himself into melee combat with the squad, who will then cohere around him. Vader has Relentless, so he can attack after he's moved. Now he's moved into combat, so he'll do a close combat attack with 5 red dice, scoring 5 hits. Let's see how the clones can defend against that. They defend 4 and only lose 1. However, this does have pierce 2, I believe, so that will cancel out another 2. It's pierce 3, so it will cancel out another, so it means that 4 are gonna die because only 1's been blocked, leaving the red squad with only their unit leader. And Vader will force reflexes rather, to get a dodge token, and that will end his turn there. And at the end of his activation, we will remove a suppression token due to endurance this time. Back to the Republic, and they will pull from the stack, revealing a trooper unit. The Republic will give that order to the phase 2 clones, who will first of all attempt to rally. Two dice. They rally 1 off, meaning they're down to 1 suppression token, so they will get 2 actions as they've got a courage of 2. And what they're going to do is they're going to aim and shoot at the squad of stormtroopers across the way. 3 black dice, an aim token and a surge if they need it. They scored only a crit, so they'll spend their aim token to reroll the 2 blacks for another crit. Rolling red defense dice. They defend 1, but take the other. So we'll take 1 mini off the back and give them 2 suppression tokens. And the phase 2 clones will end their activation there. For the next action, we'll go with the snipers, who will split fire, shooting their sniper rifle at the phase 2 clones across the other gas unit, and will shoot their 2 black dice down into the squad in cover. Their first action was to take an aim, their second to shoot at the phase 2 clones. They score a hit and a crit, so a hit and a surge rather. They only surge defensively, so we'll spend the aim token to try to reroll that. For a second one, it'll go down to light cover because they're in heavy, but they do have sharpshooter 1, and we will roll 1 red defense dice. It's got pierce 1, so even though they could spend their surge token, that'd go through anyway, so that's 1 dead phase 2. So we'll take off 1 mini and we've given them 1 suppression token. And then they'll shoot down here at these guys with 2 black dice. They're only in light cover, so maybe they'll get lucky. They do, scoring 2 crits, so they'll both have to be defended against. Red defense dice, no surges. They block 1, take 1. So suppression token for these guys, and 1 mini off the squad. And that will finish their turn there. Republic will pull from the stack, revealing the Bark Speeder. The Bark Speeder's first move must be compulsory, so it'll do a speed 2 maneuver because it's got the sidecar, so that is going to slow it down somewhat. And for its second, it's going to shoot both its rocket and its main gun at the squad in light cover on the bridge. It's a double rainbow surge to hit. So that's 3 after converting, down to 2 due to light cover. They defend 1, take 1. But it is another suppression token, another mini down. And then for its last action, because it didn't aim or anything, it will move and finish its turn at the end of the bridge. Okay, we're back to the Empire, and they will draw from the stack once again, revealing a trooper unit. The Empire will go with a solitary trooper, who will move into contact with both the boxes, and for a free action, he will reveal what's inside here, and for his actual action, he will claim that. But let's see what's inside the loot crate. It is camouflage, so when you are declared to defend against a ranged attack, until the end of the round you gain low profile, while defending if you have light cover, improve your cover by 1. Perfect. And just as we did before with Kenobi, we'll place a victory token on top of the box, or next to it in this case because it's fell off, just to represent that's been claimed. And the supply box will just place it on its side, just for clarity. Again, back to the Republic, who will draw from the stack, pulling another trooper unit. This order will be given to the red squad, engage with Vader. He's still luckily in range of Obi-Wan, so he won't panic because he's going to use his courage value, but we will see if he can rally off any of this suppression he's got from Vader. He will take 1 off, but he will be able to have 1 action. And in this case, he will spend his entire activation, even though it's only 1, to do a 1 speed maneuver out of base contact with Vader. And in this case, into base contact with the objective token and the supply crate. So his turn ends there, and he is still very suppressed. Over this side of the table, we've got something very similar going on. We've got our lone trooper engaged with Obi-Wan Kenobi. However, Obi-Wan is somewhat surrounded by an awful lot of troopers. So what we're going to do to try and to bring him out of the game is the Snow Trooper is going to spend, again, both his activations to withdraw from combat with Kenobi. So he will do a speed 1 maneuver to the other side of the U-wing and finish his activation there. Which leaves Kenobi quite in the open. Republic pull from the bag. It's going to be another trooper, and it is. We're going to go with the green squad, who are immediately threatened by Vader just in front of them, who will aim and shoot everything they've got. They'll spend an aim to reroll 2 blacks. Leaving them with 4 hits and a surge. It's hard to show you from up here, but they're at range 1, so they're going to token share and turn that hit into that surge into another hit. Vader will spend a dodge token to cancel down 1. He's in light cover, so we'll cancel down 2. So we're rolling 3 red defense dice. Vader defends 2 and takes 1. Now that mini at the back of the backpack does have the DP-23, which has Pierce 1. However, Vader is immune Pierce, which is why I didn't bother mentioning it. The Empire pull from the stack again, revealing another trooper. We're going to go with this trooper unit. They are touching the U-wings, so we'll give them the benefit of shooting through the heavy cover, meaning Kenobi's going to be in light cover. So it's going to be 3 white dice and 2 reds with a name token. We'll spend the aim token and they'll reroll for 3, due to precise 1, to add another 1 to that. Kenobi will spend 2 dodge tokens to cancel that out, leaving 1 to roll against. Kenobi will spend all 3 of his dodge tokens to cancel all those out, and because he got nimble, he will get 1 of his dodge tokens back. So Kenobi stands undamaged and still has a dodge token. And their turn ends there, slightly disappointing. Back to the Republic and back to the tokens, another trooper. We're giving the order to the yellow squad of phase 1s there, who are going to move and head towards Vader. And then I'll shoot at Vader with 4 black and 6 white due to the Z6. And Vader is in light cover. A bit of a poor showing, only 3 went through. We'll cancel 1 for light cover, so Vader's only defending against 2. And he defends them both, but takes the 3rd suppression token. Vader defended everything that's thrown of him, he takes another suppression token, and the phase 1s end their order there, their turn there rather. Pulling from the stack for the Empire, we pull a trooper, which at this point can only be these guys who are going to have to try to rally off their suppression. They remove 1, so they'll have 1 action to take. So for their 1 action, they will shoot down at Kenobi. The Stormtroopers will roll 7 white dice, scoring only 2 hits. He's in heavy cover, so that will be cancelled. Slight retcon, one of those was a surge, so that will convert to a crit. So Kenobi will have to defend against that, and he cannot spend his dodge token against it. Let's see what happens. He dodges it anyway, so it's just 1 suppression token. And that ends the Empire's turn over here. Now we'll pull from the stack for the Republic, revealing a trooper. The Republic are very quickly running out of options. We have the blue squad of Phase 1 clones, and then we have this squad of Phase 2s. So I think we're going to go with the Phase 2s. We'll start off rolling suppression, to see if they rally, which they do, so they will shed their suppression token. And the truth of the matter is, Darth Vader's gotta die. He's sitting there, he's a massive threat. If he manages to live through this round, there's a good chance he's going to start destroying everything, just making his way around, and then we'll have a real issue holding on to our boxes. So they're going to move forwards and shoot at Vader. So we'll move the unit leader right to the edge, and then we'll cohere around him. Finishing off right there, I put a mini on the container because I think it looks cool, and we'll take a shot at Vader with 4 black dice. 4 black dice, nothing to modify it. They score 3 hits and a surge. They don't have any tokens to convert that, and Vader's in light cover, so he's going to defend with 2 red dice. He has 1 surge and he has 1 blank. Vader doesn't have any dodge tokens, so he can't cancel one of those down. Well, of course he would have beforehand for us, but he certainly doesn't have any surge tokens, so he won't be sending anything back. So he's going to take 2 health, and that's going to leave Vader with only 1 health point and another suppression, taking him to 4. News just in, and a sneak peek behind the curtain. I had to take a break last night because the camera ran out of power, and I forgot Vader already had 4 damage, so that 2 was enough to kill him. Vader is off the board. That was an absolute blow for the Empire. They pull from the stack and they pull out their operative, which in this case is going to be Iden Versio, so let's see what she can do. Iden is all out on the side of the battlefield and hasn't really advanced very far yet due to some pressure being put on by the bark speeder early on. So she's going to need to move forwards to get herself into the game, and presumably if she's going to be become the commander for the next turn, she's going to need to put her Courage 3 bubble somewhere useful, because right now she is right out on the limb. For her first action, she's going to move forwards, and for a second will shoot at the Phase 2 clone troopers up on the barricade. Iden's going to use the TL50 repeater, so that's 2 red, black and 2 white. So Iden's got the equivalent of a Star Wars Legion Royal Flush, or one of every kind, or whatever it is. So we'll get rid of the miss. The gun's got a critical 1, so that will become a crit. They're in heavy cover, so we'll cancel that one, but that leaves 2 crits to defend against. They're rolling red dice with a surge token. They get 1 surge, that of course they'll spend to cancel one of them, but that means 1 crit is going to go through, so we're going to lose a Phase 2 clone trooper. And they gain another suppression, and unfortunate for them, that is their mortar trooper who's going off the table, so they're now just down to the unit leader. And Iden finishes her turn there. The Republic only have 1 token left. It's going to be a trooper, indeed it is. If it wasn't, something would have gone very wrong, and it's going to the blue squad of Phase 2s. They are going to, for their first action, aim, and for the second they're going to shoot at the Stormies on top of the gas refinery. They'll get 3 black dice normally, plus another 2 black and a white, adding Pierce 1 to their attack pool. It's an absolutely atrocious roll, so they're going to spend their aim token to reroll 2 blacks and try for something better than that. They add another hit, however they're in heavy cover, so that doesn't convert, and these 2 get cancelled. So no defending for the Stormies, but they will take another suppression token. And in the absence of Vader, they might be in danger of fleeing. That finishes their turn, and that finishes the end of turn 2. It's been a bloody old turn. We have lost Darth Vader, which is going to be a blow. We've lost a majority of the snow troopers with a flamer, and we've lost 2 Stormies from different squads. The Republic lost the numbers. They lost the vast majority of the red squad at the back. They've lost 2 separate Phase 2 clone troopers on either side of the screen, and 1 mini from the blue Phase 1 squad right in the front. Okay, and we're back for the start of turn 3. We have got the Empire on the left, and we've got the Republic on the right. Let's reveal and see what we've got. So on the left, we've got standing orders for the Empire. They are really struggling, and Iden is out of position to capitalise on her remaining cards. And on the right, we've got General Kenobi, which is a 3-pip, which surprisingly will beat the Empire. Let's take a closer look at Kenobi's card. So this gives order to Obi-Wan Kenobi and 2 units, and when Obi-Wan Kenobi issues an order to a unit, that unit gains 1 surge token for each other friendly unit at range 1. Now you've seen the way the clones are positioned, they are balled up, so I should imagine that there's going to be an awful lot of tokens handed out right now. And we've got aggressive tactics on Kenobi, and we've got reliable on the phase 2, so I think I might be about to exhaust my stack of surge tokens. The Empire have declared their strike team as their commander, and they will get the face-up order token. They have a courage value of 2, and considering Iden's way out in the sticks, I think that courage value of 2 will be needed on this side of the table. So Kenobi takes his order, the green phase 1s will take an order, and the red dude all on his own is going to take an order. I'm going to hand out the surge tokens now. The squad has the phase 2 clones and also the yellow phase 1s, so they will get 2 surge tokens. It would help if I could count. The red squad will only get 1 for their proximity to the phase 2s. So we'll do our 2 surge tokens for these guys. We'll do our 1 for this guy. We'll get reliable 1 over here. So if that pan was a little bit fast, we'll also get reliable 1 over here. And then we'll use aggressive tactics to give another 1 to the face order tokens. So that'll mean these units all get 1. We're going to start off over here with Obi-Wan Kenobi, who for his first action will do a force push, I nearly said phase push, against the snowtrooper and bring him away from the red squad. For his first proper action, he's going to move 2 and do a jump to land on the rear of these guys and force them to cohere around him. I'm going to do a quick little retcon before Kenobi moved, because charge is a free action he can do after moving. He can attack in melee combat, so he will take a aim token before he did that. So Kenobi's going to roll 2 red, 2 black, 2 white. He's got critical 2 and Pierce 2 with a surge token and an aim token if he needs it. So we only got 1 hit and 2 surges, so a really surprising roll there. So what we'll do is we're going to spend our aim token to reroll a black and a white, and we'll see how that goes. For another hit, because it's got critical 2, these 2 will become crits, so that's 3 crits and a hit for the Stormies to defend against. The Stormies defend 1, and all other will go through. To lie, it's got Pierce, so even though that would have been defend, that'll be cancelled out, so all 4 of the Stormtroopers will now die. So that finishes Kenobi's turn there, but it will take off all of these guys. The unfortunate thing is, though, Kenobi is very much now out in the open, and all he's got to defend himself is a surge token and 1 suppression, so at least he's in light cover. So the Empire are going to go with their snipers, who for the first action are going to claim this box, and for the second we'll take a pot shot at the red phase 1 trooper before he can claim his box. They're just outside of range 3, so they'll split fire, so the sniper will shoot at the red guy, and the remaining guy will shoot at here with 2 black dice at Kenobi. It's 2 black dice against a unit in heavy cover, so they're going to have to roll some crits to get it through. They get 2 hits, so that'll be down to nothing after... Oh, tell a lie, they have sharpshooter 1, so that'll be down to 1 hit after that, so we'll have to roll 1 red defense dice. Which they do make, however, it has Pierce 1, so that will kill that unit. So unfortunately for the Republic, they have lost their opportunity to claim that box for the time being. And as we're splitting fire, we're going to take our next shot against Kenobi. It's another 2 black dice. Score a hit and a surge. Kenobi's got a suppression token, so that will be the effect of light cover. So it's nothing in terms of hits, but it will be another suppression token on him. And that finishes their turn off there. The Republic will pull from the stack, and they reveal a trooper. That's going to go to the phase 2s up here, who will aim and fire. We're going to split fire at the Snows trooper across the table. And we're at range 4 of the Stormtroopers up here, who have yet to activate. So they'll get the mortar. We'll start off with the phase 2 shooting at the Snow Trooper. They are going to shoot 3 black dice. They've got an aim token and a surge token if they need it. They score 1 crit, however they will spend their own token to reroll the other 2 black dice. For another hit. When Kenobi did the force push on the Snow Trooper, he managed to position it outside of cover. So from this position, it will not get any benefits from being shot at by the clones. Rolling 2 red defense dice. They defend 1, fail the other, so that is going to take the unit off the table. And the phase 2s finish their turn. There. And the phase 2s will now shoot at the Stormtroopers across the table. It's 2 black dice for the mortar, but they still have the surge token. They score a hit and a crit, so let's see how that works out. We cancel it down to 1 because they are in heavy cover, however the crit will go through that, so it's just 1 red defense dice. Which they do defend, however they will take 2 surge tokens. They already had 1, so they are now up to 3. The Empire will pull from the stack, pull in a trooper unit, and that is going to go to this squad here with all the suppression tokens. So the first action, or first thing they'll have to do, is to rally to roll off their suppression. They managed to shed 1, however they are doubled their suppression value, but luckily they are in range of what is currently their commander, so they will use their value, so they won't flee, but they are still only down to 1 action. They are going to shoot at Kenobi, however from their angle he is a heavy cover. Certainly when you look at it like that, you can see that drawing a true line of sight, Kenobi is going to get the benefit of cover, so he will at least be able to cancel 2 of these. The Stormtroopers roll white dice naturally, so that's the 3 there. Plus they've got the T-21 Trooper, which is 4 at the back, and that has critical 2. So let's see if we can force any crits through to get through that cover. So no surges, an awful lot of blanks. We'll cancel this one down for heavy cover. However, because that is a crit, that will go through, so Kenobi will have to roll it, so it's just 1 red dice to defend. Kenobi does not natively surge, however he does have a surge token from aggressive tactics, so that'll cancel that out, so it's no hits, so it's only going to be 1 suppression token. So Kenobi finishes off with 3 suppression token, which I believe is where he started at the start of the turn. And the Stormies are done with their activation. We're back to the Republic, who draw another trooper. We're going to go with the blue squad. They will issue their order token to them, and they will shoot at the scout troopers with an aim token, and that'll be 3 black dice plus 2 blacks and a white for the DP-23. So these are their standard dice, and these are from their heavy weapon, and there's the surge. We got a hit and a crit. They should have had an aim token, not a surge. I just said the wrong thing. So we're going to spend that to reroll 2 black dice that missed. So that's down to, that's 3 hits and a crit. That will be down just to a hit and a crit on account of heavy cover. And the snipers roll white defense dice. Two blanks. Even though they had PS1, that would have gone through, so that kills both their snipers. The Empire are going to have to pick another commander next turn. So that'll take these guys off the board, and this token is now no longer claimed. We're back to the Empire to draw from the bag, revealing Iden. So Iden will take a token We're going to use offensive push, so that means we're going to activate this to enable her to get an aim token for when she moves. We're going ahead and giving that to her now on account of she's going to move for her first action. And she's going to shoot at the back of the phase 1s who are in the open. So it's 2 red, black, 2 white and an aim token. Iden isn't going to need her aim token. She got a hit, 2 hits and a crit. She has critical 1 with that weapon, so that'll become another crit, and that will become a hit on account of she converts offensively. So they're going to have to roll 5 red defense dice and hopefully live through this. So 2 completely fail. They don't convert defensively, so we're only going to cancel out 2, so we'll remove those 2, meaning 3 are going to die. Which is bad news for Blue Squad, because that takes everyone but the unit leader. And Iden finishes up her turn there. The Republic will draw from the bag and reveal a trooper unit. This order will go to the yellow phase 1 squad, who are going to firstly move full speed in this direction. They finish up there. They're quite far apart, but they are cohering, and they're going to shoot across at the stormtroopers on the tower. It's 4 black naturally and 6 white dice for the Z6. They scored 3 hits and 2 surges. They're going to do some token sharing, so they're going to take 2 tokens from the nearby phase 1s and turn that into 5 hits. That'll be cancelled down due to heavy cover anyway to 3, but that means the Stormies are defending against 3 shots. Scoring 3 dodges, they're not going to take any damage, but it is another suppression token. Bringing them back up to 3 suppression tokens. We're pulling from the stack for the Empire, pulling another trooper. The order token is going to go to these stormtroopers over here, who will aim and fire across the water to the phase 1 clone trooper in blue there with the suppression behind heavy cover. It's 3 white dice natively and 2 reds for the DLT. It's a pretty great roll, and they've got an aim token, so they're going to re-roll these 3 on the off chance they can get some crits, because these 2 are going to go through. So no matter what they do, they're going to get 2 hits. Only scoring 1 additional hit, so that'll get cancelled due to heavy cover, but that'll be 2 red defense dice. You defend 1, the other will go through, that means it's another dead squad. Pull from the stack again for the Republic, pulling another trooper unit. It can only be the phase 2 clones up on the roof, so we'll start off by trying to roll off their suppression and see what happens next. Which they do it. So we're going with the phase 2 on the left of the screen. He is going to move down the ladders, and this is something that I suppose we should have really covered off early on, about the intention of the ladders that we had set up around the bottom of the U-wing and around some of the buildings. They were supposed to be designed to be completely transversal, so you could get up and down the buildings if you needed to. So he's done 1 manoeuvre, and for a second he's going to move into close combat with Iden. We're back to the stack for the Empire. They pull a trooper unit. At this point it can only be this unit here behind the tree with the box, so he is going to haul butt and try to get himself out of danger. We're going to start off by moving, and that box will come with us of course. He finished right behind the speeder, and because it is not a ground vehicle, he should be able to move through it. If I got that wrong, please do drop me a message, but I did check the rules and I couldn't see anything which told me I couldn't do that, and that's where he will end his turn. we're back to the Republic for their last token, which I'm fairly certain is the Bark Speeder, and it is. It's got to do its compulsory move first, so I'm going to need to put the camera down to do this because it's going to be a bit tricky to do this one. So it's a bit wobbly, a bit hard to do. But he's doing a tight manoeuvre. He ends up losing his rider, but that ain't going to count as real damage. I think that's about right. We'll double check that in a second. We had a bit of a tweak so its angle isn't quite so hard, so it finished up there. And it's going to do another manoeuvre to try to get it up on this platform. Once again, making it very difficult for me to work with, so I'm going to have to put the camera down to do this. So we were able to do that, which was defied my belief. I thought it was going to be a nightmare to do. We displaced that trooper unit, so they've taken what is now their 4th suppression token, or if not, they will do in a second. And we're going to split our fire, so we're going to shoot with our forward arc into this squad in front of us, and with a rocket launcher, we're going to send one back to the guy with the box. It's a red, black and a white for their laser cannon at the front. I'm not expecting anything dramatic here, but it could be some other suppression, which is good for later on. We score a hit, and that was actually a surge before I managed to knock it over, and a blank. They do surge to hit, however they are in light cover because of all that suppression, so it is back down to 1. So I'll only roll 1 red defense dice for the Stormies and see what happens. It was a blank, so that's another suppression and 1 dead Stormy. For anyone counting along, that is 5 suppression token, and I'll take this guy off because he is the one who's most stuck under the vehicle. And now for the rocket launcher. So the rocket launcher is red, black and white as well, so I'll roll that. This guy's got the camouflage, so he's in heavy cover because he's only in light where he is, so let's see what he does. We surge to a hit again, however that'll get cancelled because of the heavy cover, but it is a suppression token. So this guy's still fine, he's got his box, he's got his camo on, he's got a suppression token which is okay, and that will finish off the Bark Speeder's turn there. We're pulling from the stack for the Empire. I think this is a trooper unit that is dead, so that will end their turn there. This is all we've got left for the Republic, so for their first action they're going to move, and they'll move again. So move 1, and they'll move again into contact with the boxes. Unfortunately we can't claim them, but we can do a free action, and we will do it to find out what's in the box. And that is precision scopes. So while performing a ranged attack during the roll attack dice, gain 1 aim token. That's something I'm going to have to spend if we want to use it. And they finish their turn out there, and that finishes turn 3 altogether. A really impactful turn 3 as far as the Republic were going, taking out their commander unit and removing a sniper activation. We had another full squad go, that was another activation. We had the last of the snow troopers go, that was another activation, and then just one guy on its own. The Republic lost an activation with the blue squad and the last of the red squad, so they were down 2 activations at the end of turn 3 rather. And here we are at the start of turn 4. We have again the Empire on the left and the Republic on the right. The Empire once again go with standing orders. Iden's cards are just not useful right now, and she's locked in melee combat, so it is not time for her to start deploying her tricks. And on the right we've gone with push because all of Kenobi's cards have now been used. So once again the Republic have it, they have priority. That will give orders to 2 units, and the Empire will be giving 1 order to 1 unit. The Republic giving their orders to Kenobi and also to the Bark Speeder. They will both take a token from aggressive tactics, so they'll both get a surge token. And in addition to this, the phase 2s will get 1 for reliable 1, and the lonely guy down here who's facing off against Iden will also get 1. And the Empire have nominated Iden to be their commander, and she will take their order token. The Republic are going to start off by going with Kenobi. For his first action, he is going to move. If you remember, those hoses aren't being counted as difficult terrain, they're just purely ornamental. he is now going to use jump 1 to ascend up the height of this platform and land in a very interesting position, which puts him in base contact with everything he needs to be. I know it doesn't look like that, but things were knocked a little bit when I moved. And now Kenobi's where he wants to be. He's going to use his charge keyword to attack with his lightsaber. So he's got 2 black, 2 red, 2 white. He's got a surge token. He doesn't convert naturally, but he does have critical 2 and impact 2. And sorry, pierce 2 rather. So we got 2 natural crits, a hit, and a load of blanks, so we don't need to spend that. So that's pierce 2, so at least 2 of these guys are going to die, but let's roll 3 red dice to see how they do. They defended 2, so 1 would die. However, it does have pierce 2, so these 2 will be counted out as well. So all 3 will go through, and that will take that squad off the table. So this could be the tides of the game completely turned. We'll have to see what happens next. And Kenobi's going to now utilise his free action, which is to search the crate, which is over his shoulder. And that is a hollow projector. So during the issue order steps of the command phase, issue an order to yourself or any other friendly unit at range 1. Excellent. And that finishes off Kenobi's turn there. The Empire are going to pull from the bag. They can't really take Iden right now as she's locked in combat, meaning that if she was to go and she moved out of combat, there's every chance that guy will just move right back in. The order will go to the guy with the box, who's going to hold butt and try to get out of the way. For his first action, he's going to move. And he'll do the same again. And after a bit of rejigging, he finishes his turn there, after we realised that he was got a little bit close to the edge and was in danger of fleeing off it. So he did a speed 1 manoeuvre going over the routes because it was difficult terrain, and that's where he's finished. We're going to pull from the stack for the Republic. It's a trooper, no surprise, I'm fairly certain they're all troopers. That's gone to this unit, so for their first action they will claim the box, and for the second they're going to move. And they finished their turn up there. Now it's back to the Empire. Empire pull from the bag, revealing another trooper unit. And now it can only be this squad. And these guys are going to aim and shoot the bark speeder. So the Storm is going to roll 3 white dice natively, plus 2 red for the DLT. They've got an aim token, so let's see if we can put something through. It's worth noting that the bark speeder is not armoured. Got 2 hits, we've got 2 misses and a surge. They do surge to a hit, which they will take, and they'll spend their aim token to re-roll the 2. Though admittedly, because of precise 1, they could have re-rolled all 3. Made no difference in the end. So the bark speeder is going to cancel 2 because it's in heavy cover, and then it is going to roll 1 red defense dice. The bark misses, so it will take a damage. It's got 5 health, so it should be fine. And their turn will end there. We're going to pull from the stack for the Republic. It's another trooper again. That's going to go to this yellow squad, who are going to make their way towards the 2 tokens over here and try to claim them for the next turn. It's first speed, and the second one we'll take him, and we'll just pop him in base contact. We will reveal this one and find out what that is, and that is going to be a... Ooh, back to the capsules, that could be great. So they gain treat 1, capacity 1. So essentially at some point they could restore a wounded mini or health token to Kenobi, or like I was saying, wounded mini to themselves if it's lost in that turn. Excellent stuff. And they will finish their turn there. We're back to the Empire, who revealed their final one. It's the dead trooper unit that was up here that Kenobi took care of. So it's going to have to be Iden, who's going to have to try to do something, though she's very much out of position and locked in combat. Iden's in a tight spot, so for her first action, she's going to try to kill the clone trooper. She rolls 2 red dice, so she's got every chance of knocking him out. 2 hits. Blocks 1, misses the other, so that'll take the phase 2 off the table. Iden really needed that, because now she's free to move, which is exactly what she's gonna do. And Iden finishes her turn there. Hopefully she'll be able to do something a bit more impressive on the next turn, and maybe secure herself one of the boxes. The Republic will go with the Bark Speeder next, which is going to start off to do its compulsory move forward. Let's try and get this right. It's always difficult to do when you're dropping down a level, but we're at speed 1. Ooh, let's try and do this. It's very difficult to do. Right, there we go. That looks about right to me. For the next move, it's going to pivot, and then it's going to take a shot at Iden with both its weapons. We're relying on Arsenal 2 to shoot both their weapons. It's 2 red, 2 black, and 2 white with a surge token, and they convert it to hit. It's an excellent roll with 4 natural hits, 2 of which being crits. We'll spend that to make that an extra hit, so that's 5 hits. It'll be down to 4 after light cover. Iden rolls red defense dice. Iden rolled 1 block. She does not convert and miss the other, so she's going to take 3 damage and a suppression token. She's still got a shield to use for the next turn, as well as the 1 health by her little seeker droid, ID, whatever it's called. The Empire is out of tokens, so we're going to stick with the Republic to finish the turn. Pull from the stack, pulling a trooper unit. That has to be the phase 2s. We can't quite get into range of Iden, even with the mortar at range 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by doing a move to get into base contact with this token, see what it is, and then we're going to move again and try to finish off the top of this box here. And inside that supply drop was the grappling hooks, which is a free action, which is until the end of your activation you gain scale. You ignore the effects of difficult terrain and do not suffer wounds. That is brilliant, given their position right there. That ends the phase 2's turn there. We only have 1 token left. I'm fairly certain that is the dead phase 2 trooper that Iden took care of earlier on. And that's the end of turn 4. The Empire lost another activation at the end of that turn, and Iden took some significant health points. And owing to the diminished numbers of the Empire, the Republic only lost 1 guy, who was punched to death by Iden. Here we are at the start of turn 5. We've got the Empire on the left and the Republic on the right. Let's see what they reveal. We've got a 2-pip for the Empire, which is Concussive Blast, which gives an order to Iden Verso, and we've got a 1-pip ambush for the Republic, so they will take it, but let's take a close look at Iden's card. So this card means that when Iden Verso activates, she recovers. During Iden Verso's activation, she gains the following weapon: a range 1 to 2, 5 red dice attack with Blast, Scatter and Suppressive. Brilliant. The order token goes to Iden, and when she recovers, she will get to have defensive pushback. The Republic will give that order to the Bark Speeder, and Kenobi will make use of what he got from the supply token, and during the issue order steps of the command phase, issue an order to yourself or another unit at range 1. Well, he's going to take that, and this card is spent. And using aggressive tactics, the Bark Speeder and Obi-Wan both get a surge token. And with a reliable one, so do the clones. The Republic have priority, so we're going to draw from the bag, or stack rather, pulling a trooper unit. This is going to go to the yellow squad, whose dilemma will be whether or not do they put everything they've got into killing Iden, or do they try to claim the box and then move. They're going to claim the box and move, the coward's option. So they've claimed the box, that'll come with them in just 1 second, and all the units will appear around this position. And they'll end their turn there. Iden's going to go now. She's going to spend offensive push, which is she's just recovered, so she's going to get a move, an aim token for when she moves. So her first action is going to be to move, and then to fire at the phase 1s. The Republic were pretty canny with where they placed their objective token. Because you cannot overlap them, you can only touch them. That meant Iden couldn't get any further than that with her move, meaning that the squad remains in heavy cover. So Iden's going to use her concussive blast. She's got the aim token, she's got 5 reds to do it, and she surges to hit. Let's see how well she can do it. We're going to risk it. We're going to spend that aim token, spend the blank and one of the hits. On the off chance we're going to get a crit whilst we're in heavy cover. We get another 2 hits, so it's not so bad. We'll cancel 2 down for heavy cover, meaning 3 to be defended against. Iden also has marksman, so we could have spent the aim token to improve one of the hits to a crit. However, it didn't make any difference in this point, but it's something we only realised after rolling the dice. So here's the defence roll. They block 2 out of the 3, so they're going to take 1 damage. So we'll take off this trooper here. It's a scatter weapon, so Iden will reposition these guys. So that means they will reco here around the unit leader. So essentially Iden is putting everyone but the unit leader somewhere else, which means for future engagements they won't be in cover, which will give her a better chance of killing them. And now they're going to take 2 suppression tokens because it's oppressive. And Iden finishes her turn there. Going to go with Kenobi next, for his first action he will claim the other objective token, and he's going to use jump 1 to jump down to the other side of the barricade. We're pre-measured, so I know we can definitely get that far, but any further he would have stood on it, and I think that would have been a problem for next turn. Now Kenobi is in range 1 of Iden, so he's going to do what he's been doing all game, and he's going to use force push to pull her away from the clone troopers with the box. And Kenobi finishes turn there. We're pulling from the stack for the Empire. They pull a trooper. They're going to take an aim token and shoot at Kenobi, who from this position, following a line straight through, is just outside of cover. So they'll get a rare in the open, no tokens to defend, just 1 surge token. So it's going to be 3 white dice and 2 red for the DLT with that aim token. Let's see how they can do. We got 3 hits, so we'll spend our aim token to re-roll and see what we can get. Now 2 blanks, so Kenobi will roll 3 defense dice. Kenobi dodges 1 naturally. He's going to spend his surge token to do another, and he's just going to take 1 wound as a result. And that finishes their turn there. The Republic will next go with a Bark Speeder, so it will start off by doing its speed 2 compulsory move forward. The Bark Speeder will move forwards. And now it's finished its compulsory move. It's going to aim and shoot at Iden. 2 red, 2 black, 2 white. Let's see what can happen. We've got a surge token and an aim token. We've got 2 hits and a surge. We're going to spend the aim token to re-roll the black and, well, a black and a white. For another surge, they convert to a hit. So it's 4 hits. Iden will spend a shield token to cancel one of those down, leaving 3 reds to defend. They all blank out. She's going to take all 3 of them. So the shield token will be turned face down to indicate that it's been spent. She'll take another 2 wounds. However, the 3rd will go to this guy, and he will be taken off, leaving Iden with just 1, and she won't be able to use the shield again. There's only 1 token left for the Empire. It's a trooper. It's got to be this guy. They are completely out of the game, and I think the game is mostly over, but we will take a standby and a dodge token just for the sake of completeness. I'm going to pull from the stack, revealing a trooper unit. We're going to go with these clone troopers who will shoot their mortar launcher at Iden. It's 2 black with a surge token. So that is a hit and a crit because it's got critical. Iden is just going to roll 1 defense dice against that after cancel of cover, which she does make, but it is 2 suppression token. And for the next action, they're going to use scale to go down the side of the hill, the side of the crates. We'll discard this card, and they will finish their turn there. I'm going to stay with the Republic because there's nothing left for the Empire, and they've got another trooper unit, which is these guys. The first action will be to move. They're at range 3 of Iden, so they're going to shoot at her, but they're not close enough to use their heavy weapon, so it's going to be 5 black dice. They're going to spend the surge token from the phase 2 clones to make it. They scored 2 hits and a crit. Iden's in heavy cover, so we'll cancel down the 2 hits, and the crit remains. She'll roll 1 defense dice, which she does not make, meaning that is going to kill Iden. And Iden is now out of the game. And that wraps up turn 5 with Iden and ID20 being killed. And the Republic only lost 1 mini. And I think we're going to finish the game there at the end of turn 5. We could play to turn 6, but I don't think there's any point. We've got 1 box secured over here by the Republic, another secured here. We've got Kenobi with 2 over here, and you can't really see it, but behind that tree there is a Stormy with 1. That's not going to come into contention. I don't think there can be anything done by the Empire here to regain control. So that's it. The mission to capture one of the last remaining Jedi and kill his clones has been a failure, ending in what I'm sure would have been by the end of turn 6, the complete destruction of the Empire forces. Okay, so that's it. It's over and done with. It went very, very quickly on the side of the Republic. I didn't expect that. I think this is where we see one of the new condition cards, HemmedIn, which I kind of imagine was going to be a real pitfall of being the blue player, to be honest with you. But the clones used it to their incredible strength, which was really, really something to see. They balled up, they hid behind massive heavy cover, the Empire had to come to them, and Vader just didn't get near enough to do what he's supposed to do. Iden didn't just get to bear, had some unlucky dice rolls early on. A bit of a mixed bag really for them, in all fairness, where the Republic had a lot of luck and had a very strong army with some good positions. But a really enjoyable game, and it was crazy to see the way some of the new condition cards and vital assets interact with the older ones in terms of the Recover the Supplies versus SupplyDrop. There were just boxes everywhere. It's lunacy. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. It was a game that was a lot of fun. It was just daft. It was just silly fun, and I really enjoyed doing it. As we're starting to move out of the lockdown kind of zone, there'll be less solo reports and more actual reports. So thank you very much for watching these ones. I appreciate that they do like a little bit of something, but I really appreciate you watching them. Anyway, comment as always. If there's anything I got wrong, do tell me, because I end up looking it up to learn, and I will respond to you, and I won't take it personally much. But if, in all fairness, if you want to leave me a comment, just say hi, or point out something I could do better, or something that didn't work for you, then please do so. Anyway, guys, hope you're doing well in this interesting time. Please do subscribe if you haven't. Do like the video, because it makes me feel good on the inside, and that's where I get my self-esteem from. Yeah. Anyway, see you soon, guys. Catch you next time. Bye for now.